All right, school. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's time to wake up. Rub the sleep out of your eyes, little babies. Let's go, Shred Nation. How are you all? Did everybody have a good weekend? I hope you did. It is Monday right now. Monday, October 5th. We are in October. We are in fall land. It is beautiful here in the Pacific Northwest. Um, this is a great time to watch scary movies and decorate and be jolly. Um, Throw a pumpkin in the comments right now. For all those you are watching live, if you guys are big Halloween fans, go ahead and throw a pumpkin in the comments for me. Let's smash a pumpkin in the comments. I love Halloween. My favorite Halloween movie or franchise is probably not probably. People who know me know this. It's Halloween, of course. Halloween 1 and 2, though. So growing up, I was a fan of, like Halloween H2O, which is one of the newer ones. I was a fan of newer horror movies. Like I always thought, the 70s and 80s movies were boring. Those are for old people. It's like when I grew up watching Westerns with my grandpa, I'm like, oh, this is all boring, old stuff. And then as time has gone on, you go back to those and you realize just how great the originals are. So I didn't like the Halloween franchise growing up, but something happened about 5 years ago. I watched that. It was on a Halloween. I think it was Halloween week. I usually do nothing but scary movies or good classic horror movies all of October in my house. I like being very festive. So I watched Halloween 1 and 2. And for some reason, I got the creeps from it. And I was like, man, this is such a good film. And I watched a documentary on the E channel. Like I was a teenager, but I remember them talking about John Carpenter, who made Halloween, and how he didn't use any blood in his movies, in the Halloween movies. And he haunts you in different ways, like how Michael Myers is always walking. He never stops. But it's always this slow pace that will just never stop. And then the music is really good in those movies and all that. So that's my favorite movie score. I used to change the ringtone on my phone to the Halloween opening, like music or whatever, piano part every October. So I love Halloween. I love scary movies, love scary films. Don't watch a ton of TV, but I do, around the holidays, I watch more, I'm watching less TV than I ever have in my life recently. It's been really good, but definitely enjoy me some Halloween films. So, welcome to episode 80, everybody. This is 3 takeaways from this life. From the life. What's the life? Well, we're going to get into that. Yeah, Michael, where's the married man at? Where's he at? Is he not grinding on a Monday morning right now? This is, for anybody listening to this, I have friends and family and folks who tune into the show, and I was in my buddy's wedding this weekend. One of my best friends in the world. I was one of his groomsmen, and it was on the beautiful Mount Rainier, and we had a great time. 7:30 in the morning. I think it was more like 8 by the time we got there, but it was a really cool experience, really magical experience. I'm happy for my friends, but he's not watching today. I don't know. He must be cleaning up at the house we all rented out. So, episode 80. You guys ready to talk about some health and fitness? So again, welcome to the show. This is the show that's here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. All right. These shows are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. They're repurposed for the podcast on iTunes, and they're also on Spotify. Okay. This is a show that's designed to help you shred your old and make better your new. So let's start shredding. Let the shredding begin. Throw me a flex emoji in the comments if you guys are watching live. I want some participation, people. If I'm giving out this free information, we're having a conversation, I want you to be at the round table with me. Flex with me. I want to know that you're here. This is a conversation between you and I. If you have any questions, ask them live, and we're going to answer them. So what we got going on here is 3 takeaways from this life. So we're going to go over a few things today. We're going to go over making small changes over time, okay? Because focus needs to be maintained. We're going to talk about never stop learning and that there's no shortcuts to this lifestyle. We're going to talk about lifestyle, okay? So the first thing is small changes. These are just some notes I made last night. Just thinking about, what are 3 takeaways from somebody who lives this lifestyle every day, who stays lean all year round, who there's things that I do that are lifestyle choices that I don't even realize they're lifestyle choices anymore. And ultimately, this is where my clients get to. But it's comprised of these 3. So these small changes over time, I feel are really important to address here, because doing small things like tiny tokens, like you start tracking your steps and you don't worry about anything else. You don't worry about how much water you're drinking. You don't worry about your nutrition, your calories, any of that. You change one thing at a time. That to me is very, very important, I feel, for behavior modification. And because what it does is it allows you to maintain focus on the one thing. So if you change a bunch of different things, if you spread yourself out and you go, I'm going to flip my nutrition. I'm going to start exercising 3 times a week. I'm going to try and do cardio 3 times a week. I'm going to try and start sleeping 9 hours a night. I'm going to start meditating. You throw all of these things in addition to everything else you got going on in your life, and you start to lose focus, right? Focus is more of this microscopic view where you can zone in on something, you can hone in on it, right? Satellite view is not as focused, right? You can see the big picture. Like, we can talk about the big picture of all these pillars at School of Shred. We have 5 of them: spirit, habitat, recovery, exercise, and diet. Spelled Shred, which is great branding, I know. But that's the big 30,000 foot view. But when you start zooming in, you need to stay focused on your one task at a time type thing. We're going to talk about that later this week on these shows. But small changes over time, and the reason I like small changes over time is they help you maintain focus. It's not just one thing. You're going to have to bounce back and forth between being focused on, say, the nutrition aspect of it, and then being focused on, the exercise aspect of it, or focused on trying to increase your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. But if I could encourage you to do anything, it would be to pick one thing at a time and focus on it, okay, until it becomes habitual, and then you can focus on something else. Because if you try to make a bunch of large changes, you start to lose focus. However great they may be, most changes that you want to make are probably good. If you're listening to this and you're interested in learning more about health and fitness, and you want to change your life for the better, that's great. You're going to do it if you stay on the path. But consider focus being one of the most important things. And you don't want to be so scattered out that you don't have focus anymore. Number 2 is going to be never stop learning. So that is a takeaway from this life that I'm living, and my clients are living, and students at the School of Shred are learning how to live, is never stop learning. That's the whole reason that I created this online health academy, where I'm actually taking you out of the client role and making you a student again. When you go through my programs, you are a student. You have assignments. You have to learn, not technical knowledge or technical science, but you need to learn how to navigate, this new world we live in, where there's a lot of options that could lead to disease, and there's a lot of options that could lead to health. And I'm trying to guide you towards health. So you never stop learning. Number 1 is that science is always moving forward. So there's always new science coming out. Like right now, there's a lot of science in the area of gut health and gut permeability, HPA axis dysfunction. There's all sorts of cool stuff that continues to come out. And, it's what we want to do is continually learn if we're adopting this healthy lifestyle. So a certain percentage of your day, of your minutes that you spend every day, should be learning something new about health and fitness, and then making those modifications and trying things out. So, if there's one thing that I could sum up definitely for slowly altering my lifestyle from being not healthy when I was a young kid to being healthy now, and practicing this thing for over 10 years and trying to hone in my own health and fitness, it would be that I've never stopped learning. I'm lucky enough to have this as a career. I created a coach out of myself to really force the situation, I feel, on a subconscious level, because I get to selfishly learn about health and fitness every day, which affects my clients, and it also affects myself. So I'm always learning, and I feel like that has made a big big difference. The clients, my lifer clients who stick with me, my in-person clients, my private folks who I've been training for years and years. I still have a lot of my clients that, I was training at the corporate gym, who I love a lot. They're like family at this point. They are never wanting to stop learning because they're learning with me, and if they had a closed mindset, they wouldn't be around in my schedule anymore. So never stop learning is a really crucial ingredient to maintaining this healthy lifestyle long-term. And we hear this thing lifestyle, and it might not make sense to you now that it's a lifestyle, or you might just regurgitate it and not understand what it means. Because I've heard people who aren't healthy tell me, oh, it's a lifestyle. I'm like, yeah, it is a lifestyle that I don't think you're living. Lifestyle, it could be cliche, but it's definitely the case. Is this whole thing is a lifestyle. And that's what number 3 is that we're going to talk about here. Is there's no shortcuts to this lifestyle. There's no shortcuts. It's how you think, okay, on a day-to-day basis. So what does a lifestyle mean? When you say adopt a healthy lifestyle, well, what does it mean? Well, for instance, at this wedding I was at over the weekend, there was food. There was a great meal provided. It was a great brunch. There was eggs and pulled pork. There was bacon. There's a bunch of meat stuff, but then there was also like pancakes, and we're all having pancakes and whatnot. I chose just to have the eggs, the bacon, basically the meat, and I put some avocado oil on it. I didn't have the pancakes. Now, could I have had the pancakes? Absolutely. Why didn't I do that? Because I actually look forward to the way that I eat. Now I enjoy eggs and meat and all that, and it's become a lifestyle decision that I don't even think about anymore. I don't sit and think about, oh, how I'm suffering. If I thought I was suffering, I would just have ate the pancakes. That's fine. That's it. Or the waffles. I'm not too concerned about that. But what it goes to show is that this lifestyle thing is you start to do things and you make these decisions and these choices, and they become second nature, and you don't feel like you're suffering. That's what a lifestyle is. A lifestyle is when you go and you're going to a birthday party and maybe you have one light beer or a few beers, and you're not punishing high calorie, sugary drinks. Or you go to a barbecue and you're eating, the same types of foods, earth-grown foods that you normally would. You're not hammering down chips. Now, there's a time and a place for all that. If you choose to do that, that's fine. But what I'm trying to point out to you is that this stuff starts to become all these little lifestyle modifications. Like if I go to a burger place, I get it wrapped in lettuce with the side salad, or I'll get sweet potato fries. I don't think about it anymore. Walking, after you make a non-negotiable step count every day, before you know it, you're just leveraging your day. You start parking in the back of parking lots. You don't even know why you're doing it. And you're like, oh, wow, that's right. I parked in the back because now I walk. It doesn't feel right if I'm not walking every hour or every couple hours, or taking the hard way, which, I played golf yesterday, got 16,000 steps in. And, now to me, walking, I mean, that many steps in a day is kind of become second nature, because every day I wake up, whether I'm tired or I have energy, I walk. I always walk. Now, if I'm tired, I don't work out really hard, but I'm always walking and moving. It's part of this lifestyle. There's no shortcuts. It's a how you think. It's a mindset thing. The mindset for me is that I want a lot of low-level activity. I want to make good food choices. To me, there's no cheat meals. Okay. There's no, I fell off the diet. And so if I have something that, whatever is more processed, I just have it. I don't think about it. I get back on my plan. It's not like I'm scheduling these things in. It's a mindset shift. Okay. We got to change how we think, if we want to change our lifestyle. All right. And so that's wrapping up these 3 points, these 3 takeaways from this life, this health and fitness life, that if you're listening to this, I hope that you are trying to live. I hope that this helps you. And it's make small changes over time to maintain your focus. That was number 1. Number 2 is never stop learning. There's always science that's moving forward. Your body is always changing. That's one thing I didn't bring up. Your body is always changing. Your physiology is always changing as you get older. There's a lot of options out there that you can try, whether that's eating, whether that's exercise programs. You never want to sum things up. And then number 3 is there's no shortcuts to this lifestyle. A lifestyle takes time. It takes investment. It takes your time investment, and it takes some sacrifice. But what happens is eventually those sacrifices, you don't even realize them anymore if you're doing them correctly, because it's not all about sacrificing every little stitch of happiness. Plus, if we're talking about food and exercise, I don't think we should have that much writing on that either. So be pliable. So that's episode 80, everybody. With that, I want you to stay strong and healthy in body. Stay relentless and energized in your spirit. And stay determined in your pursuits today, everybody. That spells shred. Now go shred the day and get better in every way. That's episode 80. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time for episode 81 of the School of Shred. Have a great day, everybody.